Right now, on used truck lots across the country, there are diesel pickups collecting dust that salespeople have literally marked down 3 times this month. Nobody's biting. Buyers walk right past them toward shiny half-tons with payments they can't afford. Meanwhile, every diesel mechanic, every fleet manager, every person who actually understands what's happening in this market is quietly writing checks for these exact trucks. Because here's what nobody's paying attention to. Diesel is disappearing. Not tomorrow, not in some hypothetical future. Right now. There are only 5 manufacturers left making diesel vehicles in America, and every single one of them is a truck, an SUV, or a van. No cars. Zero. The supply of diesel trucks is shrinking every single year, and the ones already on the road are not being replaced. That is the setup for one of the biggest value explosions the used truck market has ever seen. Today, I'm breaking down 7 diesel trucks that dealers cannot move off their lots right now, but that I believe will be worth double within the next 5 years. I'm going deepest on number 1 because that truck is already starting to climb. And if you wait too long, you'll be the person telling your buddy about the one you should have bought. Let's get into it. Number 7. From 2020 to 2023, the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 or GMC Sierra 1500 with the 3.0-liter Duramax inline 6. This one is going to confuse some people, so let me explain why it belongs on this list. General Motors is the only manufacturer in America still putting a diesel engine in a half-ton truck. Ford killed theirs, Ram killed theirs. The 3.0-liter Duramax inline 6 that General Motors offers in the Silverado 1500 and Sierra 1500 is the last of its kind. Dealers are practically giving these away compared to the V8 models. You can find a 2021 Silverado 1500 LT with a 3.0-liter Duramax, 60,000 miles for $28,000 to $32,000. The exact same truck with the 5.3 V8 sells for roughly the same price, sometimes more. People just default to the V8 because it is what they know. But here is what makes this truck special. The 3.0-liter Duramax makes 277 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, and it does that through a silky smooth 10-speed automatic. It gets 23 to 33 miles per gallon, depending on configuration. That is borderline car territory for a full-size pickup. More importantly, this engine is overbuilt. It uses a compacted graphite iron block, the same material Ford uses in the 6.7 Power Stroke. It has a forged steel crankshaft. It runs a timing chain, not a belt. Mechanics who have torn these down say the internals look like they were designed for a 500,000-mile commercial application and then detuned for a passenger truck. The reason these will double in value is simple math. General Motors is the last company still making them. At some point, whether it is 5 years or 10 years, General Motors will stop offering this engine too. When that happens, from 2020 to 2023, Duramax half-tons will be the only diesel half-ton pickups that exist in a market that still demands them. Ranchers, people who tow recreational vehicles, and drivers who put 40,000 miles a year on their trucks, they all want diesel fuel economy without a 3/4-ton truck. These will be the only game in town. If you are shopping for one, check the Oil Life Monitor history and make sure the previous owner did not do exclusively short trips. These engines need highway miles to keep the diesel particulate filter healthy. Repeated short trips in city driving are the one thing that can cause problems. Avoid it, and this truck will outlast the loan by a decade. Number 6. 2007.5 to 2010 Chevrolet Silverado or GMC Sierra 2500 HD with the LMM Duramax. Everyone in the diesel world talks about the LBZ. It is the golden child, the one forum guys worship. And I get it, the LBZ is a great engine, but the LMM that replaced it in mid-2007 is mechanically almost identical and sells for thousands less because of one thing. It has a diesel particulate filter, DPF. That is literally the only significant difference. The LMM uses the same 6.6-liter V8 Duramax block, the same Bosch common rail fuel system, and the same Allison 6-speed automatic. It makes 365 horsepower and 660 pound-feet of torque, actually more than the LBZ's 360 horsepower and 650 pound-feet. But because the LMM was the first Duramax with emissions equipment, diesel guys treat it like it has a disease. Right now, a clean 2008 Silverado 2500 HD LMM with 130,000 miles sells for $18,000 to $24,000, depending on condition and configuration. A comparable 2006 LBZ with similar miles fetches $28,000 to $40,000 or more. That is a $10,000 to $15,000 gap for a truck that is functionally the same. Here is why that gap closes. As LBZ trucks continue to age, rust, and accumulate miles, clean examples become rare. Buyers who are priced out of the LBZ market will look at the next best thing, the LMM. It is already happening on Duramax forums. Guys who spent months hunting for a clean LBZ are settling for LMM trucks and discovering they are just as capable. The DPF, which is the whole reason people avoid these, is a known quantity at this point. On a well-maintained truck, it lasts 150,000 to 200,000 miles before needing attention, and a replacement runs about $1,500 to $2,000. Compare that to the $10,000 premium you pay for an LBZ, and the math is obvious. When shopping for an LMM, check the DPF back pressure readings if you can. A good diesel shop can plug in and tell you exactly how much life is left in the filter in about 10 minutes. Also inspect the exhaust for soot around the DPF connections. If it is caked on, someone may have tampered with the emission system and put it back to stock before selling. Walk away from that. Number 5, 2015 to 2016 Ford F-250 or F-350 with the 6.7-liter Power Stroke. Ford's 6.7 Power Stroke has been in production since 2011, but the early years had some growing pains. The 2011 and 2012 models had turbocharger issues related to ceramic bearings in the turbo shaft, plus some glow plug failures that could break off and cause internal engine damage. Ford addressed both of those issues. By 2015, the 6.7 Power Stroke was a completely different animal. The turbocharger was redesigned with steel ball bearings, the fuel system was refined, the emissions components were more robust. The 2015 and 2016 models are widely considered by mechanics and fleet managers to be the most reliable year of the first-generation 6.7-liter body style. And here is the opportunity. These trucks are sitting in a depreciation valley right now. They are too old for the buyer who wants a modern interior with a 12-inch screen and adaptive cruise control. But they are too new and too expensive for the budget buyer looking for a $15,000 work truck. A 2015 F-250 Lariat with the 6.7 Power Stroke and 120,000 miles currently goes for $30,000 to $36,000. That sounds like a lot, until you realize this truck made 440 horsepower and 860 pound-feet of torque from the factory, can tow over 15,000 pounds conventionally, and with proper maintenance will run well past 300,000 miles. The engine uses a compacted graphite iron block that is stronger and lighter than traditional cast iron. It is chain-driven. The turbo sits in the valley of the engine for a cleaner, more efficient design. Owners who service these trucks on schedule report 300,000 plus miles without opening the engine. The biggest thing to watch for on these years is the CP.2 high-pressure fuel pump. It is a Bosch unit that is sensitive to fuel quality. If contaminated fuel gets through, the pump can fail and send metal debris through the entire fuel system. That is an $8,000 to $10,000 repair. The solution is simple. Install an aftermarket fuel filtration system. A $300 kit from companies like FAS or AirDog eliminates the risk almost entirely. It is cheap insurance on a truck that will otherwise run forever. 5 years from now, clean, 2015 to 2016, Power Stroke Super Duties with documented maintenance will be in serious demand from commercial users and RV towers who know exactly what they are getting. Number 4, 2013 to 2018 Ram 2500 with the 6.7-liter Cummins. I need to tell you something that should get your attention. According to market data from late 2025, the Ram 2500 was the slowest-selling truck in America. These trucks are sitting on lots for 6 months or longer. Dealers are stacking incentives, dropping prices, and doing everything short of giving them away. And every diesel guy I know is watching this like a hawk. The 4th-generation Ram 2500 with the 6.7-liter Cummins is one of the most capable and reliable heavy-duty trucks ever built. The 6.7-liter Cummins inline-6 in these trucks produces 370 to 385 horsepower depending on the year, and 800 to 900 pound-feet of torque. It is a turbocharged common rail direct injection engine with the kind of low-end torque that makes towing a 14,000-pound fifth wheel feel effortless. But here is what really matters. The 6.7-liter Cummins architecture is a direct evolution of the legendary 5.9-liter Cummins. Same inline-6 layout, same fundamental design philosophy. Cummins did not reinvent the wheel. They took what worked and made it better. The block is cast iron. The heads are cast iron. The forged steel crankshaft rides on 7 main bearings. This engine was designed for commercial applications before it ever went into a pickup truck. The reason these are sitting on lots is twofold. First, the Ram 2500 has historically had some transmission concerns. The older 68 RFE 6-speed automatic in the 2013 to 2018 trucks developed a reputation for being the weak link in the drivetrain. It is not a bad transmission, but it is not an Allison. Second, Stellantis' reliability reputation as a whole has taken some hits, which drags down resale values even when the powertrain is bulletproof. Current prices reflect this stigma. A 2016 Ram 2500 Laramie with a 6.7-liter Cummins and 90,000 miles sells for $28,000 to $34,000. A comparable Ford F-250 with a 6.7-liter Power Stroke goes for $32,000 to $40,000. That is a $4,000 to $6,000 Cummins discount that makes 0 sense if you understand the engine. When shopping, check the transmission fluid condition and shift quality. Drive it through all gears and pay attention to any harsh or delayed shifts between 3rd and 4th. If the transmission was serviced on schedule every 30,000 miles or so, these hold up well. If it was neglected, budget $3,500 for a rebuild. But the engine? The engine will outlast the truck around it. The Cummins name alone will push values up as supply tightens. Number 3. The 2020 to 2022 Chevrolet Silverado or GMC Sierra 2500 HD with the L5P Duramax. Brand new, these trucks sold for $55,000 to $75,000 depending on trim. Right now, you can find a 2021 Silverado 2500 HD LT with the L5P Duramax, 60,000 miles, crew cab, 4-wheel drive for $42,000 to $48,000. That is $15,000 to $25,000 in depreciation in just 4 to 5 years. And the truck underneath that lost value is arguably the best diesel General Motors has ever built. The L5P Duramax has been in production since 2017. It is the current generation of General Motors' 6.6-liter diesel 5.8. It makes 445 horsepower and 910 pound-feet of torque in the 2020 to 2022 models. It is paired with a 10-speed Allison automatic, which is widely considered one of the most durable transmissions in any pickup truck on the road. This engine is a beast. Banks Power pushed an L5P with completely stock internals to 912 horsepower on a dyno. That tells you how overbuilt these things are from the factory. The block can handle nearly double its rated power without modifications. That kind of engineering headroom translates directly to longevity in stock applications. The L5P has been remarkably trouble-free compared to earlier Duramax generations. No widespread injector failures like the LB7. No head gasket issues. The most common complaint is the occasional high-pressure fuel pump failure from contaminated fuel, which is an industry-wide issue on modern common rail diesels, not specific to General Motors. Replacement runs about $2,500 to $3,500. Why are these sitting on lots? Price. Even at $42,000 to $48,000, these are expensive used trucks. Most buyers in that price range are looking at new half-tons or certified pre-owned trucks with warranty coverage. The heavy-duty diesel buyer who actually needs one of these for work is buying new for the warranty. That leaves a sweet spot of trucks that are too expensive for the casual buyer and too used for the commercial buyer. That gap will close. As new diesel truck prices continue climbing above $70,000, these 2020 to 2022 models will look like the bargain of the decade. Give it 3 to 5 years. Number 2, 2006 to 2007 Chevrolet Silverado or GMC Sierra 2500 heavy-duty with the LBZ Duramax. I almost didn't include this one because it is not exactly a secret anymore among diesel enthusiasts. But here is the thing. Clean, unmolested LBZ trucks are still sitting on small-town dealer lots and independent used car lots, priced between $20,000 and $35,000. And the people walking those lots have no idea what they are looking at. They see a truck that is almost 20 years old with 150,000 miles and think it is overpriced. The LBZ Duramax is widely considered the holy grail of diesel truck engines. It is a 6.6-liter V8, making 360 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, paired with the 6-speed Allison 1000 automatic transmission. It was produced for less than 2 model years because it could not meet tightening federal emissions regulations. That short production window is part of what makes it special. No diesel particulate filter, no diesel exhaust fluid tank, no exhaust gas recirculation cooler to fail, just a turbocharger, a common rail fuel system, and an iron block that was reinforced specifically for this application. GM engineers strengthened the cylinder. Bore webbing upgraded the fuel injectors to a 7-hole nozzle design and increased common rail pressure from 23,000 to over 26,000 pounds per square inch compared to the prior LLY. The result was the most powerful and most durable Duramax up to that point. Known issues are minor: injector harness, chafing on cylinders 2 and 7, occasional water pump failure due to a plastic impeller, glow plug module failures in cold climates. None of these are catastrophic, and none of them are expensive. The biggest repair you are likely to face on a well-maintained LBZ is a water pump, about $600, and that might happen once in 200,000 miles. Prices have been climbing steadily. 5 years ago, you could find a decent LBZ for $14,000 to $18,000. Today, clean crew cab 4-wheel drive examples with under 150,000 miles are listed at $25,000 to $40,000, and truly low mileage examples have crested $50,000 to $60,000. The trajectory is clear. As the truck becomes rarer, prices will continue to rise. Within 5 years, I expect average prices on clean LBZ trucks to be firmly in the $40,000 to $60,000 range, with pristine examples pushing toward $70,000 or more. If you find one that has not been modified, has maintenance records, and does not have rust, buy it. Do not negotiate for 2 weeks. Do not sleep on it. Someone else is already looking at it. Number 1, 2003 to 2007, Dodge Ram 2500 or 3500 with a 5.9-liter Cummins. This is the one. This is the diesel truck that will make people the most money over the next 5 years. And I can already hear the pushback. You are going to say these are already expensive. How can they double? I am going to show you exactly why. The 5.9-liter Cummins inline 6 is not just a good diesel engine. It is the diesel engine. It is the benchmark every other truck diesel gets measured against, and nothing has matched it for pure mechanical simplicity and longevity. The 2003 to 2007 common rail version of the 5.9 made 325 horsepower and 610 pound-feet of torque in its final form. Those are conservative numbers from a factory tune that was intentionally restrained for the sake of emissions compliance and drivetrain longevity. The engine itself can handle far more. The inline 6 configuration is inherently balanced, which means less vibration, less wear on bearings, and a smoother power delivery than any V8 diesel. It has fewer moving parts than a comparable V8. No balance shafts are needed. The crankshaft sits on 7 main bearings. The block is cast iron. The heads are cast iron. Every component was borrowed from or inspired by Cummins's commercial and industrial engine programs, where engines are expected to run for 500,000 miles or more between overhauls. The 2003 to 2007 trucks represent the final years of the 5.9 before Cummins switched to the 6.7-liter platform to meet tighter emissions regulations in 2007.5. That means no diesel particulate filter, no diesel exhaust fluid system, and depending on the exact year, minimal or no exhaust gas recirculation. The engine breathes clean and runs cool. Here is why these will double. Right now, a clean 2006 Ram 2500 with the 5.9-liter Cummins Crew Cab, 4-wheel drive, and 140,000 miles sells for $22,000 to $30,000. 5 years ago, that same truck was $12,000 to $18,000. The appreciation has already started, but it is nowhere near done. These trucks are following the exact same trajectory as the first-generation Dodge Cummins trucks from the early 1990s. Those 12-valve trucks used to sell for $5,000. Now, clean examples trade for $25,000 to $40,000 or more. The common rail 5.9-liter is next. It is newer, more powerful, more refined, and better equipped than the 12-valve, but it carries the same fundamental DNA. No electronics strangling the engine, no emissions equipment to fail at 150,000 miles, just diesel fuel, a turbocharger, and an iron block that refuses to quit. I have personally seen these engines run past 400,000 miles with nothing but routine maintenance. Oil changes every 5,000 to 6,000 miles, fuel filters on schedule, and a coolant flush every 100,000 miles. That is it. The transmission is the thing to watch on these trucks. The 48RE automatic in the 2003 to 2007 trucks is adequate at stock power levels, but it becomes the weak link if someone has added a tuner or programmer. Always check if the truck has been modified and then return to stock. Aftermarket tunes, even mild ones, stress the transmission significantly. A rebuilt 48RE runs about $3,000 to $4,000 installed. If you find a 5.9-liter Cummins Ram with a manual transmission, specifically the NV56006 speed, you have found a unicorn. These are the most sought-after diesel trucks in America and command a substantial premium already, but even the automatics are climbing fast. Here is my inspection checklist for the 5.9-liter Cummins. First, check for killer dowel pin issues on models from 2003 to 2004. This is a known design flaw where a locating dowel pin between the engine block and timing gear housing can work loose and fall into the gear train, causing catastrophic engine damage. The fix is a $200 upgrade that takes a few hours. If it has not been done, negotiate accordingly. Second, look at the front timing cover for seepage. A small weep is normal on a high-mileage Cummins, and it costs about $400 to reseal. Third, check the exhaust manifold bolts. These are known to crack or back out, especially on the driver's side. You will hear a ticking sound at startup that fades as the engine warms up. Not a deal breaker, but it is a $600 to $800 repair. Fourth, pull the oil fill cap while the engine is running and look for blow-by. A light haze is normal. Heavy smoke pouring out means ring wear, and you should walk away or negotiate hard. Who should buy this truck? Anyone who wants a diesel that their grandkids could inherit. Anyone who tows regularly and wants the simplest, most reliable powertrain available. Anyone who understands that the era of simple, no-nonsense diesel trucks is over, and the ones that already exist are only going to become more valuable. Who should skip it? If you want a quiet, comfortable daily driver, this is a 20-year-old Dodge. The interior is not luxury. The ride is not refined. The wind noise at highway speed will remind you that Chrysler built this truck during an era when acoustics were an afterthought. If you want modern safety features like lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, or a backup camera, you are looking at the wrong truck. And if you are not comfortable doing basic maintenance or finding a good diesel mechanic, the 5.9-liter Cummins rewards owners who pay attention and punishes the ones who do not. But if you understand what this truck is and what it represents, there is nothing else like it on the road. There never will be again. So there it is, 7 diesel trucks that the market is ignoring right now, but that history is going to reward. The 3.0 Duramax half-ton that nobody wants today will be the only half-ton diesel option left. The LMM that lives in the shadow of the LBZ is mechanically its twin at half the price. 2015 to 2016, Power Stroke is the sweet spot of Ford's best diesel in its most depreciated window. The 4th generation 6.7 Cummins Ram is the slowest selling truck in America, sitting on a million-mile engine. The L5P Duramax is bleeding value from sticker shock, while being arguably the best modern diesel on the market. The LBZ is the holy grail that still shows up on small-town lots, and the 5.9 Cummins is the truck your mechanic wishes he had bought 10 years ago. You now know 7 trucks that are undervalued, sitting on dealer lots, and built to run for decades in a market where diesel is disappearing. If you found value in this, hit subscribe. I have more coming on the trucks that mechanics genuinely respect, the ones that refuse to die, with the real-world numbers to prove it. Like if it helped. Drive safe, take care of your truck, and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I'll see you in the next one.